property managers, guys. If you're any property managers here, it's really important for you guys to, have somebody, a go-to person on the ground, because I've got calls where, the dishwasher's leaking, and so on and so forth. And I don't have a list of your contacts for your maintenance people. I don't know who to call. And when it comes to me, I don't care who I call. I call the fastest guy to get it done, and it's probably the most expensive. So instead of it costing you $300 or $400, it costs you $600 or $700 because I put it on a rush to, because I'm worried about your clients and that they're, I think we had one thing with the family and kids and all that, and the dishwasher was flooding. The guy came to fix the dishwasher. He turned off the power and he left because something else was going on. So they had no power, no water, 2 kids, and they were freaking out. So of course I just called whoever, called the Army, Navy in there to get them done and get these people up and running again. And unfortunately, one of our guys, I think, was called, had a very medical episode, and it was out of commission for a while. But we all got it all done. But make sure that you have somebody to collaborate with when you're away in your business. That's all I'm saying there. And your communications are all set up. Well, on the stats side, it's all good news, guys. It's let me just share with you what I've got here. And I think you guys can see my screen here. I don't know what that is. Let's go up to the top. And this is the news release, the press release out of Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver, and it's all good news. And if you're watching any of the newscasts, global or whatever they are, they're all positive. So buyer demand surges in October. Vancouver, November 2024, after, I'm just trying to move things around a little bit here. After months of tracking approximately 20% below the 10-year seasonal average, Metro Vancouver home sales surged more than 30% year over year in October. So finally back on track here, guys. It's starting to go again. But keep in mind that even though we had the big surge in October, 30% year over year, this was 5% below the 10-year average. So we're still 5% below the 10-year average, but we're picking up. Things are starting to move. I'm just going to hit the highlights here. The total number of properties currently listed for sale in the MLS system, Metro Vancouver, is 14,477. That's a 24% increase compared to October 2023, when they had 11,599. This total is also 26% above the 10-year seasonal average. So what that's telling me, guys, is the market's picking up, but there's still a lot of inventory out there that that's in a little more than past years. So it's going to take a little while for those to sell and those to move on and get the market moving. The market is moving, but we got to get that inventory down. But currently, we're probably in a good situation for pricing. That means that because there's the sales volumes are up, but the listing volumes are also up. That means that prices are probably going to hold for a while until the inventory gets down to a point where you're getting these multiple offers. So good news for buyers right now: get out there and buy, because when that inventory kind of dries up, then you're going to start seeing these price increases, multiple offers, more and more occasions. You're just going to still see multiples now, but those are going to be on prime properties that are well priced in desirable areas. So, but for the rank and file, get out there and start looking, because you got your pre-approval now. Paul, I think you must be busy. I think with the rates down and what's going on with the rates, by the way. What's your greatest?
Busy for sure. We saw a huge uptick. I mean, rates go down, people's confidence is all that we should care about, and we see it in the activity. So from the first drop in June, things started picking up big time compared to last year for sure. Prime's going to continue to drop, probably 25 basis points, maybe 50 here on the last meeting in December, and then into next year, as we've talked about a lot this year. So that shouldn't change. Fixed rates, they were priced in prior to the prime drop. So when prime drops, fixed isn't going to go down the same way. Fixed rates right now are in the mid to low fours for insured mortgages, which is really good compared to where they were. I don't anticipate, I mean, the 5-year bond is up 10 basis points yesterday and today. So that's an indicator that they're not going to drop anytime soon. And if it continues to move up, we might see a couple of lenders, like a few weeks ago, raise rates briefly. They will slowly trend down as prime goes down into next year. But it's a good time.
Yeah, I think you got it right. The consumer confidence is there. It's coming back.
Yeah, and I mean, this report you're talking about here, Doug, I mean, it's proof that rates move and people buy. So if we were to plan in the next spring, if I was a buyer, I wouldn't want to wait till everyone else jumped in. Well, there'll be a lot of competition. So as rates go down, these stats should continue to look good, right?
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. Into next year, it's looking really good. And the sales to active listing ratio, that's the number of sales compared to number of listings compared to the sales in October 2024 was 18% overall, but by property type was 13.4% for detached homes, 22.2.5 for attached, and 22.2 for apartments. Well, if you recall last month, guys, all of those were in a balanced and I think the houses were also under 12%, which was in a buyer's market. And the other two were in the mid-teens there and 14, 15. And they've just jumped right up. So the number of sales are really going up compared to listings. So that's what's going to affect the pricing. But like I say, there's still quite a bit of inventory out there. So it's going to be a little bit of time before the prices are affected in any great way. So it's a really good time for your buyers to get out there. For sellers, well, it's never a bad time. I mean, most people that are selling have a reason that they're selling and they got to move anyway. So, but these are the factors. If you're listing a property and it's been sitting for a while, this is good news for you. You might find some buyers in that one there, but hopefully this continues into next year. We'll see. We'll see with these rates going the way they are, but I don't know how the U.S. election is going to affect things. I don't know what's going on down there. That's pretty crazy. The stock market is bouncing all around, and they're betting on this. It's bizarre what they're doing down there, and the whole world is kind of affected by it. I think I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to get into the politics there, but anyway. Recent data shows that the market conditions have been decidedly balanced, with prices easing over the past few months. With the recent uptick in sales, however, the attached and apartment segments are now tilting toward a seller's market, with the detached segment not far behind, suggesting that the recent period of price moderation may be nearing an end. So there you go. That's kind of what you want to send out to your clients. Prices, they're forecasting they may be near the end of it going down. We've bounced off the bottom now. We start going up. Prices, as demand picks up and inventory dissipates, we'll get increases in prices. So get your buyers out there, get something on the line there. If you want to get into the detailed stats, Greater Vancouver, I'm just got to move some stuff around here so I can see this. This is composite. This is all three. Month over month changes, still going down a little bit, showing there. North Van -1, 0.8 up a little bit in East Van, West Van down 1.5. So the stats are still showing down, but they're going to bounce up. And the next month we show this, these are probably going to turn into zeros or pluses. So instead of -1.5%, it'll be +1 or plus 0.5. Single family detached, they're having a hard time still. North Van -3.4 month over month. We had East Van went up. North Van went down. East Van went up. West Van went down 0.3 minus 3%. You get into townhouses. Overall, Greater Vancouver was up almost 1%. Look at this. Townhouse North Van went up 7.4% month over month. That one might be a little skewed. I don't know how many units there were, but it could be like one large unit that sold for $10 million or something like that on the waterfront that skewed everybody else. That looks a little bit off for me. But then you go to Vancouver East, Vancouver West, we're up 5.5 and 2.8. So things are really turning around here. Apartments here, you got Greater Vancouver is down 0.6, North Van's down 0.1. You've got East Van and West Van minus 3.2, minus 1 point. So from here, it looks like the townhouses in Vancouver East, Vancouver West are where the action is. That's showing the most increase in prices month over month. So there's something going on there for some reason. I don't know. North Van, Vancouver East, Vancouver West. I guess people are liking the townhouses in there. So I'm gonna close that one off, and we're gonna go into Snapstats. And let me see if I can find that one. Where was I looking now? Bear with me, please. I can open the second here. Mike, what do you got going on? Why don't you give me a little break here till I find this Snapstats thing?
I don't know. I think we're starting to get really busy. I had Walton in here this morning and talking to about 5 other realtors from different offices yesterday, that everybody is seeing multiples, seeing lots of traffic. This one person from Remax that I met yesterday, her open house was she had 50 groups through, 25 and 25 on Saturday and Sunday on her own listing. So those are good numbers. And that listing value, I mean, it was a lower listing. I think it was 688 or 788. I forgot what she said there. But the traffic's there for sure. And if you have a buyer and they're ready to pull the trigger, as Doug's mentioning, yeah, I believe prices are going to start going up. So if they're looking for a 25% basis point drop in interest rate, but the price of the property goes up 2%, then I think they just shot themselves in a financial foot by buying it higher in the marketplace. Anyway, I'm not the actuary, but I think that's how you have to look at it. But again, customer makes the final decision. Our job and your job is to tell them everything good and bad about the properties that they're looking at buying, and let them make the educated decision with your input. But don't force anybody to do it. It's not worth it, and it's not really your job. What do you got for slides, Doug?
Well, I've got Fraser Valley stats, and the reason I picked Fraser Valley is that Mike Booth and I have a listing out in Fraser Valley in Langley, and we've done 4 open houses now, and we've had numerous showings right across the board. And overall, in the last 2 weeks, week and a half, I guess, last 2 weekends mainly, we've had at least 30 groups through. So we're definitely getting the traction relative to people going through. But you know, the reason why it's not selling, it's not a brand new place. It needs some work a little bit, that kind of thing. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to find out what the stats were for a property in Langley and what was going on there, so I could tell the owner, you know, what we're expecting and what kind of forecast we're seeing, because I want to give her a good report as to what's happening. So we're reporting to her about the listing, what's the showings and so on, and the feedback, and trying to follow that. But when I looked at the Snapstats there, and even though we had 30 people through and we haven't sold it yet, this gave me a little bit of confidence when I was talking to her. So the property is listed at 849, and it's in the area for that one there. Let's see here. We want to go detached houses. I want to go to condos and townhomes, and her area there is Fleetwood, Surrey. Sorry, Surrey. I got to find Langley. So you got to go down. This is North Delta, Cloverdale. I think Langley's next. Detached houses. Here's Langley houses. So I'm going to go right into what this is Langley. I can highlight that, and then over here it's Willowbrow Heights. That's why I got Mike out there doing that one. It's not my area. So Willoughby Heights. The sales to active ratio is 26%. The price range for her is 800 to 900. So the sales to active ratio is 30% or 31%. If you go into, it's a 3-bedroom, sales to active 33 for 3 bedrooms, and so on and so forth. So that to me, you know, that market that she's in, that we're in there with Mike and I, we're in the 30% range for sales to active. So a third of all listings are selling quite rapidly. So that to me gives me a lot of confidence. So my email to her last night, or my text message to her last night, was like, yeah, we've had 30 groups through where, we're competing against some of the newer stuff out there, but it's just a matter of time before yours sells. So that's kind of how I use the Vancouver stats and the Snapstats dealing with a seller, and that would be the same with the buyer. If you're looking to buy in that area, it's a pretty hot market. You better sharpen your pencil and be ready to pay a little more for whatever you get there, kind of thing. So that's a little bit of how to use those Snapstats. We do have you do have a bunch of other ones there. You have Greater Vancouver and you have Metro Vancouver, and it's done the same way. All of the all of the areas are shown. I'll try and get one here. Just hang on a sec. I'll go back and I'll go, I don't know, which one's this one here? This one is Metro Vancouver. So if I open that one up, it'll cover, usually we don't look too much at the detached houses. So they're not a big, there's condos and townhomes, Vancouver downtown. So here you've got Cole Harbor, downtown, West End, Yaletown. These are running at 13%, 11, 12, 15. So right now, it looks to me like the outer areas are doing a little better. That's the one I just showed you was Langley, and that townhouse is at 33%. The condos and townhomes in downtown Vancouver, their sales ratio is only 13 to 11 to 13%, 15% in there. So based on the information we're getting from the real estate board, those numbers are going to go up exponentially. So I would expect by next stats time, is next in the beginning of December, that all of those numbers would probably be up about 5 or 10%. So you'd be looking at 18 to 23% for apartments and townhouses, next month. That's that's the sales to active ratio. That means that 2 and 10 are selling, or 2.5 and 10 are selling, kind of thing. So it's, the market is picking up. It hasn't picked up in Greater Vancouver yet, but it will. So that's another reason to pick up and look at your Snapstats. Now, please don't share these Snapstats with your clients. These are sent to me, and I share them with you, and that's as far as it ought to go. If you want to send a copy to your client, you should subscribe to Snapstats, get the whole meal deal. It's about $30 a month, and then you send these out to this is part of your mail out for your clients all along. You can quote these prices and so on and these stats with your clients, but please don't send them out, because if you look to the front of this thing, it has my name on it, and it says compliments to Doug Foulds. So please don't share them with your clients. They're for your eyes only. All right. So any questions on that?
Nope.
Good. Done. So it's good news. Good news going into December. We got some good news going on. Lots of things happening. We've got, I think, real estate board in our office closed next Monday. It's Remembrance Day, so nobody, just if you got keys or anything like that, remember to pick them up and make other arrangements on that one. There, board's closed that day, and then we're coming into all Christmas season, and I'm already lining up with all kinds of events with friends and family and colleagues and so on and so forth. So it's going to be a busy month and a half here up until Christmas. So lots to do. That's all I got, Mike.
Okay, well, great job, Doug. Thanks, guys. And like we've always said, get the local market stats, not the overall stats. And in the Google Drive that you've been shown about 5 times over the last week, that's where all the bricks are for your stats, because Angeli has been doing an amazing job doing your monthly stats. So all you guys need to do is go to the drive, copy it, and paste it in your social media, and you're up and running. Doug made a mention, holiday time's coming. I think we're going to be really busy through the holidays, guys. It's from my stats in Christmas time, it's either kind of really slow or kind of really busy for a winter stat. And this has all the signs that keep your phones charged and close by you, because you're going to get phone calls if you're making the phone calls. Canada Post is threatening a strike. Guess what? It's Christmas time. So Canada Post is coming up the bat. So start thinking about that in advance. And if your deposits come to us electronically, please do that. It'll make your life easier, because lawyers don't like mailing stuff. Emailing the money in, which I think is ridiculous, but find out from them, and also talk to your real estate lawyers and notaries about when they're shutting down as well for the holidays, so you don't make that mistake, because that's the worst mistake, is to have a closing over a holiday with money being transferred and you didn't realize it when you should have realized it. And again, if you're away and Walton or Rhiannon or Bob Smith is looking after your business, please tell Angel so she can make a note of it, because when we get those phone calls, we got to know who to direct the customer to, because the customer is very important to all of us. Angel, are you on this Christmas party? When's our Christmas party?
Yes, I am, but I just have a phone call really quick. 1 second.
Okay, so I believe it's December 14th. Let me look at my calendar, at the Parker Hotel around the corner from us, which is a great venue. December 13th, sorry, Friday the 13th. They're going to do an amazing job for us. So it's a glam party. So wear something fancy, because it's, you've got probably the best view in the city to this establishment that we're going to. And we try to change it up. We did Mahoney and Sons for 3-4 years in a row. And we will go back, because they are such good people and it's such a good venue, but we needed to change something up. We got a blanket drive coming up. Angel's just organizing that. So we're getting the blanket bags dropped off. So that's another reason for you guys to speak with your clientele and ask them if they have any donations, blankets, only blankets, not clothes, for you guys to pick up for them. It's a good touch point. By all measures, they say we're going to have a wet, cold, snowy winter, which is going to be great for the mountains, but not good for people that need a little extra warmth in their lives. So Angel, do we have those blanket covers yet?
Not yet. She is dropping it off today. So I
Okay.
will let you guys know. I'll send an email when everything is ready.
Perfect, thank you.
Mhm.
And does anybody here have any sales they want to talk about, or any listings that are coming up? The floor is yours.
Can I mention quickly, Amir Khan's event is coming up. Dirty Little Secrets Improv show is on November 9th, and tickets are available. You will be receiving an email shortly after the meeting. Thank you.
Great job, thank you. Thank you very much. If we don't have anybody that has any buyer or seller needs and wants, then we can close this off. That was a good, quick 35-minute meeting. Appreciate everybody's time. If you need me, I'm here, and look forward to sharing some ideas and working. And sorry for last Monday, guys. I got tied up in a meeting. That's my catch up Mondays for anybody that wants to pop in and talk about what happened during the week and in the weekend, and coming up with some strategies. So I look forward to see you guys next Monday at 11:30. But again, I'm here all day.
Mike, Monday's
Come on in.
Remembrance Day.
What's that?
Next Monday's Remembrance Day.
Oh, is it? Then I won't be here, but I'll have a cool posting about a couple of my uncles that fought in the war that will pop up. That's a pretty good read, actually. So on that note, Mr. Doug.
All right, guys. Yeah, remember, market's up, so get out there.
Make your calls. Make your calls. Prospect 2 hours every day. You'll thank me in a year. I promise you.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
All right, guys, have a good one. Bye
Thank
now.
you.